Maybe you catch yourself getting excited about something, a possibility, a day that actually feels manageable for once. And then something in you just kind of pulls back, like, don't get your hopes up. And you think it's wisdom. You think that that's you being realistic because you've learned the hard way, like 1,000 times way. Or maybe it shows up different for you. Maybe you're the one with the spreadsheet, the one who researches the restaurant, checks the parking, plans the outfit, thinks through every conversation before it happens, builds capacity for the transitions. And the planning, that work that you put in, it works. It actually works. But it doesn't feel like self-care. It feels like proof. Proof that you're damaged, that everyone else is just going along doing the things, and you're over here with your noise canceling headphones and your appointment buffer time and your elaborate exit strategies in case something doesn't go quite right or you hit a limit. Ask me how I know. But here's the thing I keep running into, both in my own body and with the people that I work with. The planning isn't the problem. The tools aren't the problem. What's holding them is the voice in your head, the one that catalogs your limitations, that recites your failures. It reminds you that you're both too much and not enough at the same time. That voice is shame, and it has learned to sound exactly like truth. But shame isn't just something that you feel, it's an operating system. It's the code running underneath every tool you've ever built, every strategy you've ever deployed, every workaround that you set up just to keep yourself functioning. And when the baseline assumption is that something is wrong with me, then every tool becomes a weapon against yourself. Let me illustrate it this way. You know how you can have a really good knife? You know, those really sharp, well balanced, it does exactly what it's supposed to do. I saw a YouTube video the other day that showed a knife that was so sharp it could cut through a carrot. It was like this little stump of a carrot, and they just put it on the counter. You could have blown it and it would have rolled over. And they took a knife, it was so sharp, and they were able to cut across a carrot without it moving, without holding it. It was so sharp. That's the kind of knife. It does exactly what it's supposed to do. In steady hands, that knife feeds people. In shaking hands, same knife, different result. The knife didn't change, the tool didn't change. But what's holding it did. Your planning, your preparation, your capacity building, those are good knives. The shame is the shaking. So you use the tool and it works, but instead of building capacity, it trains it, because every single time you use it, you're also confirming the lie. See, this proves I'm broken. Normal people don't need this. The tool works and it costs you. Same action, very different interior experience. The preparation, the things that you do to get ready to help support yourself, the accommodations, that's intelligence. The shame about needing the accommodations, that's the war. Now, I work mostly with highly masking neurodivergent adults who have really done a lot of work, real work, therapy, sometimes many years of it, meditation, the breath work, the morning routines. They learned all kinds of frameworks. They can describe how their body works in sophisticated terms, and they're exhausted. Not from the work, but from the shame embedded in the work itself. The shame that says, Even though I'm using all these tools, I'm still here. So something must be fundamentally wrong. Imagine, as an example, imagine that you want to go out and have coffee with a friend you haven't seen in months, and you know how it goes. It comes time to actually go, and you realize you just can't, for no explainable reason except that you just know you can't, and you're totally out of capacity. A simplified version, you can tell yourself two stories about that. You might say, I can't even go to a simple coffee date. Or you might say, I can't go to coffee today. Same surface, same action. You're staying home. But the interior landscape is really completely different. The first one is shame, it's the war, it's brokenness. The second one is just reality, it's self knowing, it's actually love. And that difference, that's an entirely different operating system that affects everything else. And I know that you might be thinking, okay, but I genuinely do need more support than other people. That's not shame, that's just facts. And you're right. You're right. I need those too. But here's what's interesting: realism can hold two things at once. It can say, I'm going to need time to recover from this. And also, that's me knowing myself. Both things in the same breath. But shame can't do that. Shame only knows one story. Something is wrong with you. And every shred of evidence, including the fact that you're doing your absolute best and you're still so tired, is just more proof. See, shame doesn't just make you feel broken. It redirects your entire life force towards the project of fixing the brokenness. It takes the love that you actually have, and you have so much of it. You always have had so much of it. And it funnels all of it into this war of fixing, into management, into self correction, into the endless project of trying to become someone who doesn't need what you need. So the love that you could companion your body with, the love that could move you toward the people that you really care about, the love that could help you build a passionate life, it's being spent on the fight. I'm not going to get into, well, how do we change all that operating system today? That's not why I made this particular video. I do that work in The Village, which is my online community. Um, this is just the part where I'm trying to bring this to the surface, because that's really the thing that shifts first, is the seeing it, recognizing that voice, the one that sounds like truth, the one that you've trusted your whole life, and just knowing which voice that actually is. And the fact that you're here, that you're still looking, that you haven't given up even though you're so tired, that's not evidence that something's wrong with you. That's evidence that somewhere underneath the war, you already know that something else is possible. You've always known. The operating system just made it hard to hear. So for now, just remember, you don't need better tools. The thing holding them is what needs to change. Thank you for being here. I'm wishing you more love, not less, always. Bye for now.